Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Color Gab video, and we're going to be kicking off my Mandala Madness color along, which started today. Today is September 1st, so that is going to be going from September 1st to September 15th. And what this color along is you can color any kind of mandala you want to. It's all going to be about mandalas for the next 2 weeks. And so when you color them in, go ahead and put them on my Facebook group if you are a member. If you have not joined my Facebook group, go ahead and send a request and I will approve you. Or you can put that on Instagram and tag me. You can use the hashtag Mandala Madness, so the hashtag sign, and then MANDALA-MADNESS, all one word, Mandala Madness. All right, so as you can tell, we're going to be coloring out of this Jim Gogarty book. This is the Mandalas Volume 1. Yeah, Mandala Volume 1. And so this is the one, like I said, is by Jim Gogarty, and this is probably one of my most favorite mandala books. I have this one, and then I've also got the volume 2. So I'm going to be doing a lot of coloring out of this book. And so the tools that we're going to be using today are my Sooty style pencils that I have in my brand new pencil case. If you have watched my haul video that has just gone up not very long ago, you will see this case featured, as well as the Sooty style pencils. And oh, they still kind of smell just a little bit. When you get them new, I don't know if it's the box or what, but they reek, you know, when you first open them up. And so I aired them out a little bit, but I think I'm gonna have to keep my case open a little bit because they still kind of smell a little bit. So we're going to be using that, and then I also dragged out my new Prismacolor Premier pencil sharpener, so we're going to see how that one works with these Sooty style pencils. And so what I thought we would go ahead and do is we're going to just start on page, we're just going to start with the very first mandala. And you know what, I thought the first mandala was about as good as any of them in here. And so we will just go ahead and use the Sooty style pencils with this one. All right, so I'm going to adjust my camera just, oh, there we go. There's our first page right there. There's our first mandala. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And so I'm gonna go ahead and bring down the camera just a tad, and we will, and then we will go ahead and get started on our coloring. Now, I did want to go ahead and remind you guys that I am coloring with the visual impairment. So I have to get pretty close to my work so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just gonna try to adjust this camera just a little bit. Let's see if I can lift it up. I better bring it down a little bit more. See, sometimes, like, I'm playing with some new camera angles. I had to get used to messing with the new tripod recently because the one that I was using has totally bit the dust. So I cannot use that one any longer. So I'm trying to get used to a new setup here. So just bear with me, and I think I'm going to bring it down just a little bit more so that we can get in close, and so maybe we can keep from seeing my head much of the time. Okay, so now there we go. Let's try it that way. Oops. Okay, we're going to go ahead and try it like that. So keep my bag out of the way just a little bit. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and use our Sooty style pencils, like I said, and let's go ahead and just kind of get started on this. So while I am picking colors, now I have not used these pencils before, so this is going to be a new experience because I just got these in not too long ago, actually. So while I am picking my first colors here, what's everybody been doing? How has everybody been? What's everybody been up to recently? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go with, and I don't think there's names on these pencils or anything. So we're just gonna go ahead and get going here. And oh gosh, I feel like my tripod isn't very steady. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And so, like I said, I do apologize for the appearance of my head in the video because that is probably going to appear. I will try to keep my hair back. I didn't tie my hair back this time, so it's going to be a little tricky. But anyway, let's go ahead and get ourselves started on this. And I just want to be sure that we are in frame, of course. Okay, so what's everybody been up to? What's everybody been coloring? What kind of new books has everybody been getting? I got, like I said, if you watched my haul that has come up, you will see that I got a few books in. I got a couple from overseas. One of them I actually ordered on Amazon, and that was The Rabbit Girl. And then I also got that one Russian one that's real popular right now, the Mermaid Legends. But I've also got some other stuff that's going to be coming in. And so I do have some other stuff that's going to be coming in. So I will be doing another little haul on that when that arrives. So just be on the lookout for that. And this color is a little bit light lighter than I thought it was going to be. These really, really do feel like the Marco Raffine pencils. Like if you're familiar with Marco Raffines, this is like almost exactly like them. Of course, there's more colors to them, but like I would swear that these were Marco's just remanufactured. And Mona told me that that was her feeling with them, because she's had these a lot longer than I have. You guys know Mona from the coloring groups, I'm sure, but yeah, she tells me that these Sudis are just like the Marcos, just just kind of remanufactured, I guess. But you get more colors with them, and but she's been using these a lot. She says she loves them, and which is great. So like I said, I am going to be taking a little trip. If you guys have been looking at my channel lately, if you watched my last two Color Gabs, you guys know that I have a guide dog, a golden retriever named Caleb, and he is going to be retiring at the end of September, and so I have to go back to training for a new dog at the end of September. And so I've been just trying to get ready for that. My People and Pooch's color along just ended, and oh my gosh, like it's really ridiculous because like I did only one picture for that color along. I mean, you guys have been doing really great with it. I've really been loving seeing all the pictures coming in, but I only managed to do one picture for that color along, and mainly because like I'm really trying to get to get things ready for my trip, and also before I go, I have been just really trying to get caught up on my my writing, because I have chapters in the I do these stories that I put out on different blogs, and so I've been just really trying to keep caught up with, or well, I'm not caught up, but I'm really trying to get caught up with that, because I am really behind, and my stories need a lot of attention right now. Just because they haven't been updated in a little bit. And so I decided to take a little bit of a coloring break. Even though I was hosting this color along, I really needed to get away from that for just a little bit and actually focus some time on getting some of my writing done. Because I want to kind of get a dent in that before I actually leave. There's a lot that I got to get done before I leave. And the biggest thing of all that I'm going to hate doing is I hate packing for trips. Man, I hate packing, but I know that's a necessary evil. So I am going to have to get packed up and to get ready to go for that. So it's just been kind of busy. Plus, we've had, we've had Lions Club meetings and stuff, so we've had meetings. We've just had other things to do. I've been, just trying to do my writing. It's been just really tough lately, you guys. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it's been just real busy lately, and this September, I mean, this month is it's already September, but it's really gonna just keep getting busier and busier, because not only do I have my trip coming up, but we've got quite a few other things that we have to do. And I mean, I'm gonna be exhausted by the time I get to I'm gonna be exhausted by the time I get to Leader Dog. Just because of all this other stuff that we have to do. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's crazy. You know what, I'm gonna try to zoom in just a little bit so we can see maybe a little bit more. I don't know how blurry this is gonna get, but let's just see if maybe that will help a tad. Okay, maybe just a little bit. You know, sometimes a little bit just kind of goes a long way with that. But anyway, these pencils really seem to lay down the color very nicely. They really do, it seems. And I've not really tried to blend them yet, because like there's tiny spaces in these mandalas, and I probably should have maybe tried to pick something a little bigger. But sometimes mandalas, you know, they have some small spaces in there to color. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing much blending with these pencils in this picture. This probably might just be straight coloring, but you know what, that's okay. Mandalas are good for that a lot of the times. So, but this one looks like it's got a little bit of paisley in it, you know, some paisley pattern kind of thing in it, a little bit, you know, a little bit of that going on. So, but like I said, September is going to be very, very busy, and I'm going to try to get as much coloring done as I can with these mandalas. I tend to crank out mandalas faster than I do in anything else, honestly. So I'm looking to probably get quite a few mandalas colored, which will be nice. But at the same time, like I said, we are going to be rather busy at times. So I will just have to do the best that I can. And of course, I will be on the group and we'll be putting likes and comments on your pictures. I've not been around too much on there, like I said, the last couple of days. We've been, like I said, been pretty busy. And also, I've been just trying to get some work done on my stories I write. So when I'm doing that, I really don't like to do much of anything else, because that takes a lot of my concentration. You know, because I am actually publishing something. You know, I am actually putting something up there. But yeah, I like how these pencils lay down, I think. I think these do very nicely. Just going to try to keep my head out of the way as much as I can. But anyway, last night we had a Lions Club thing going on. We had, it was actually our club's kickoff steak fry. We don't meet during the summer. I mean, we have board meetings and stuff, but like we don't have any regular meetings during the summer. You know, we take off the summer months, and a lot of clubs will do that. But anyway, we had our steak fry last night, and the guy that used to be Caleb's vet, he's actually in the Lions Club with us, and of course, you know, we had Caleb with us, and Caleb's, I say used to be Caleb's vet because he has retired. He is now retired and no longer working as a vet anymore. So, you know, he's been doing a lot of traveling and stuff. But anyway, so he was asking me if he was actually asking me if Caleb started having trouble with his front legs too, and I said yeah. You know, because he noticed how Caleb was walking. How did he put it? Sort of like broad-based, I guess, you know. So, so yeah, Caleb has some pretty good arthritis. It started out in his back legs, but, you know, or his back end, you know. His hind legs scrape the concrete as he walks a lot of the times. And then when I had my eye appointment, was it no, not last weekend, but a couple weeks ago, we again, you know, the guy that I see, you know, he's a friend of ours from another Lions Club. He's not in our particular Lions Club, but he is in another Lions Club in our district. And you know, I think I'm going to sharpen this thing. He's in a Lions Club. He's in a different Lions Club in our district, but he was looking at Caleb, and he says, "Oh, he's developing cataracts, isn't he?" And I said, well, I hadn't really noticed, and you know, his vet never said anything, but my eye doctor noticed it. So Caleb is starting to get some cataracts. So you know what, like, I totally agonized over the decision to retire him, but I think in light of everything, you know, it was the best decision. You know, because of that, and just the fact that you know, he's slowing down, he's just not able to walk as well as he used to. And I mean, you know, he's 10 and a half. He's 10 and a half, and golden retrievers, you know, they live on the average of maybe 12 to 14 years. My last golden I had, Abby, she lived to be about 12. She was about 12 and a half. And she got lung cancer, of all things, believe it or not. You never really thought about a dog getting lung cancer, but you know, they can get diseases that people get. Like I was talking with on the phone some time back. I was talking with one of the gals that was in training with me when I went to get Caleb. And if you guys remember the one video where I was talking about, there were like 4 of us that hung out together in that particular time. There's me and this other lady, and then 2 other gentlemen. And we were the 4 that hung out. You know, we'd gone out together a couple of times, and you know, because we needed, like, we were getting cabin fever, and we just kind of needed to get out and have a little drinky poo, you know, and just kind of enjoy ourselves. So anyway, the 4 of us were we were like the fearless 4. And but anyway, I was talking with the other lady, and her dog ended up retiring probably a couple of years ago because he ended up getting diabetes. And so she was really surprised to hear about that, because you know, she didn't realize that you know, that a dog could get diabetes. And I said, oh yeah, I said they can, you know, they really can. And you wouldn't really think about that, but they do, or they can. Okay. So anyway, like I was saying, you know, she didn't really imagine, you know, that a dog could get diabetes, but I said, oh yeah, they can. I'd heard of that before. You know, I'd heard of a couple of cats that had it, and you know, dogs and cats can get thyroid disease, and you know, they can get all kinds of stuff, you know, just like people can. So anyway, she like, you know, so then he had to take the insulin shots and stuff, and you know, she kept up with it for a while, but she has a full-time job. Like, she's got a very rigorous work schedule, and so it got to be really hard for her to keep up with the work schedule and then have to give him his shots and stuff like he needed. And so what she did was she ended up sending him to live with one of her kids. She's got some grandkids and stuff, and so her dog went to go live with, I think it was her daughter or something, and her daughter and her daughter's husband and the daughter's kids. And so, you know, they were able to keep up with the shots and stuff. And So, but I guess the dog is real happy there, and the grandkids just love having him, and so she says, you know, because they live out of state, you know, from where she is, and so when she goes to visit them, you know, she says, you know, even though the dog is like 10, he says that he just acts like a little puppy every time he sees her, because, you know, obviously he remembers her, and he's happy to see her, and, you know, she agonized over that too, but, you know, she felt it was the best thing for both her and her dog. So, but, you know, they couldn't figure out, like, what was wrong with him, so he had to have a bunch of tests and everything, and she said that, you know, he was just so sick, and so, you know, she obviously was very, very worried. And then, one of the gentlemen, and I'm not going to mention names or anything, because I don't know that they would want me to, like, you know, say who they were, even if it's a first name, like, on a video. I didn't ask, but anyway, one of the other gentlemen that you know, that hung out with us, his dog retired. I think it was this past winter. I guess his left shoulder went out, and so one of the trainers came to, you know, to help and to look and stuff, and so they said, well, you know, it's best to just retire him. So he did, and he's still got the dog. But, and then another gentleman, that also hung out with us, his dog is still kind of sort of halfway working, but she's got, like, dog dementia, canine dementia, whatever, because, you know what, they can get that. Apparently they can get that, and, Caleb, like, I've kind of noticed that a little bit with Caleb too, because sometimes he gets a little confused, you know, like, where he's not sure where he's at, so... I was telling my husband about all that, you know, when I'd found out, like, all of the news, and he says, oh, well, I guess they kind of crap out about the same time, don't they? I said, yep, I guess they do, don't they? So, a lot of them do. There's some that retire a lot sooner, then there's some that keep trucking for a couple more years, but for Caleb, and, you know, just because of the fact that I wouldn't have to send him to anybody else, you know, we actually keep him. I just feel that, you know, if he's not really having the heart for the work anymore, if he's slowing down, like if he's not, I don't want to say too spry, because, boy, he can still move pretty good, like in the yard when he wants to play ball. But, you know, they age, and, you know, like people do, they age, although they age a lot faster than people do. But, you know, there does come that time where they, you know, where they do have to retire, and you got to think about that. And so for Caleb, you know, and I did this for Abby too, you know, so that they don't have to work, like, right up to almost the very, very end. I'd like to just kind of give them that nice retirement, and then they can spend the last couple to a few years of their life just being, you know, just relaxing and enjoying life, you know, and not have to worry about the work. Although Caleb, boy, he's really gonna miss going and meeting up with his fan club. Because everybody he meets always ends up getting added to his fan club, because everybody just loves him. And yeah, and I know a lot of my viewers here, a lot of you guys, you know, are saying, you know, what a sweetheart he is and stuff, and because I've shown pictures of him and stuff. Coloring away. Wiener was in there making noise. So that's what's going on. But yeah, we had like a big, boy, even trying to get the trip details worked out was a little frustrating, because another thing that is going on is right before I go to Leader Dog, we are going to Portland, Oregon, because there is a Lions Club USA Canada Forum kind of conference deal that, you know, that we go to. I can't say that we go every year because we don't go like every single year, but we go a lot. And so anyway, this one is going to be in Portland, and we decided that we were going to go ahead and go. And so I didn't think that I would be going to Leader Dog at all in September, but when they called me, and also, of course, when I found out that I was going to be in the same class with my friend Brenda, I told you guys how Brenda and I met, you know, back in '92 when we were there getting our first dogs. So when I found out that, you know, that we were actually going to be in the same class together, I'm like, all right, you know, we got to make this work by hook or by crook. We got to make this work. So, but what happened was that on the day that I was supposed to be at Leader Dog, which is September 24th, we were actually going to be coming back from Portland. And when our plane lands from Portland, it's going to be like real late at night. And so there's no way that I was going to be able to be in Michigan on the 24th. So I had to work it out, you know, because Leader Dog is in Michigan, which is where I'm going to be. And so we had to work it out where, and they were very accommodating to me, and they're very understanding about Lions Club stuff, because that's where they get a lot of their financial support. I'm talking Leader Dog. That's where Leader Dog gets a lot of their financial support, is from Lions Club, you know, from around the country and stuff. And so they were very understanding, you know, when I told them what was going on, and that, you know, would it be possible if I could arrive the next day. Because on that Sunday, you know, they're just, you know, everybody's just arriving and getting settled in, right? So Monday is when the work begins. And so, and you know, this isn't my first rodeo. I mean, I'm going to be getting my 4th dog, so it's not like I'm totally a newbie at this, because I'm definitely far from a newbie. You know, I'm old hat at that. But so anyway, I asked them, I said, would it be possible if I, you know, come in on the following day, because, you know, we have our flight coming in from Portland, you know, from this USA Canada Forum. And they're like, yeah, you know, that's not a problem. So they had to get permission from the team captain and all that, you know, the trainers and stuff. And they didn't have a problem with it. But they're like, you need to try to get there as early as you can. So when I went to go book the flight, and my husband and I had a lot of discussion about this. We were in disagreement a little bit. And so, but because our Portland flight lands pretty late at night, I mean, we're not even going to be in O'Hare until like 11-something p.m. on the 24th. So we decided that it would be best to get a hotel room for the night, you know, just spend the night in a hotel. So so when I went to go book the flight, you know, because I told them, I said, you know, they want me there as early as I can possibly get there. And so he says, well, you know, we got to get some sleep, and you know, which is true, you know, you need sleep, and you know, it's going to be kind of a tight schedule. So when I went to book the flight, you know, I'm thinking, well, you know, this is before, well, right when I went to book the flight, I guess, but we had quite a lot of discussion about this, and he's like, there was a 7:45 flight, which I wanted to take, you know, to get me there. You know, they wanted me there as early as I could get, you know, so there was actually a 7 o'clock one, and he's like, no way, I don't think so, you know, so that one was out. So I wanted the 7:45 one because, you know, that was going to get me there early, you know, kind of early on. And so I went ahead and, you know, booked it, you know, told them, you know, this is what, you know, what needs to happen. And so then the other night it kind of got sprung on me that he's like, well, why don't you try to change your flight, because we're not going to get much sleep, and what if something goes wrong and we don't land up in O'Hare until kind of late, you know, something could happen, and that's only going to give us like 6 hours of sleep, you know, because by the time you get to the airport and stuff. And I said, I said, well, the flight's already been booked. I said, they want me there as early as I can be there. And I said, you know, that's not going to be cool. So we went round and round about it. And so what ended up happening was I ended up just changing the darn flight. I had to get it okay with Leader Dog, and I said, you know, this is what's going on. But so what ended up happening was the flight, the later flight, what was it, it was actually just an hour later. I think it was going to take off at like 8:55 or something like that. It was actually a pretty cheap flight. So Leader Dog says, well, you know, that's fine. You know, that's fine. But just, you know, because you had to change the flight, we'd appreciate it if you would just, because what Leader Dog does is they pay for your transportation. And because they had already paid for the flight that we had already booked, they said, well, you know, since you got to change the flight, you know, can you, you know, we'd like you to be responsible for that. And that flight was pretty cheap, like I said. And so I took care of that. But so they had to, again, get permission for me, you know, from the trainers for me to come in that hour later. So, you know, that way we could get that extra hour. And so they were okay with that. So I took care of the flight, and I told the husband, I said, well, that's that. I said, we can't change anymore. But yeah, we got all that taken care of, so that was good. That was real good, because let me tell you, it was quite a time. And I told the lady at Leader Dog, I said, man, no wonder I got hypertension. But anyway, it all worked out. It worked out. Everything's good. Leader Dog's happy. The hubby's happy. So I'm happy. As long as we can get it all worked out. Oh boy. But I guess what they say is if something comes too easily to you, then it's probably too good to be true. So the fact that we kind of had to scramble a little bit to make this happen, I better have a smooth ride, let me tell you. I better have a smooth ride and smooth training, and I better get the most perfect dog, let me tell you. Oh, gosh. But anyway, so that was my planning the whole trip nightmare thing. Oh, boy. But you know what? Like, I hate, oh, my gosh. Like, I hate preparing for a trip. Like, I hate the packing and oh my gosh, and I really do. I hate like messing with the airports and stuff. I really do, because it can get stressful, you know, with trying to get there on time, and then all the security you got to go through, and all the waiting, and I hate it. I hate it. Sometimes I kind of wish I could be like Samantha Stevens from Bewitched and just kind of pop in and out where I need to go, you know. Then you don't have to mess with all that. But welcome to the real world, you know. Anyway. So this mandala, like I said, there's some, I probably shouldn't have colored this one on camera because there's some pretty tiny spaces in this, and when I'm doing this on camera, I like to pick something with some bigger spaces, because the tinier it is, the closer I have to get to this stuff, and then my damn head's in the way. But anyway, so, like I said, I had a haul video that I put up recently, and I'm actually going to be having another haul video coming up because I do have some more things on the way, some coloring related things, and also some other stuff that I'm going to show you guys too, that I'm probably going to be taking with me on my trip. I had to get some stuff to kind of go along with the occasion. Okay. So I'm having to move the book a little bit. Usually when I'm, well, I have to do this anyway, like when I'm coloring, but I have to do it a lot, like when I'm doing a mandala, because it's just easier for me to see when I do that. So I apologize for the moving of the book. But I'm also trying to keep it at the angle so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing as much as you possibly can. But I don't think this mandala I'm going to be doing much shading on or anything, because like I said, there's some pretty tiny spaces in this, and it's just not going to be conducive for that, I don't think. Again, I'm sorry for moving the book a lot, but I'm trying to keep it so we can see for the most part. Okay. Maybe it would be better if I did it like this. So, anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying all the color alongs that's happening. I think Grace is also doing one in September. I think it's a fantasy one, so I'll be doing some things for hers as much as I can. Because I love fantasy stuff. Ergo, like all the mermaids and fairy books and stuff I have. Yep. Alright. So, I went to go check my footage and everything looks pretty good, so I went ahead and just finished up this section right there that I started before I left off. So I'm going to use the same color, and I'm going to go on to the outside of this. So anyway, can't really remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about going to the airport and how I hated doing getting ready for a trip and stuff, and doing the whole airport thing. Like, I think the first time I flew, I think the very first time I flew was a long time ago with my mom when I was real little. So I don't really remember too much of that. But when I flew before, I mean, I've flown quite a few times, and I remember when it was kind of a new thing, there was that novelty to it, and this was before 9/11, so this was before like all the security thing, went crazy. And it was much easier to deal with. But now, I mean, I don't know, the novelty just isn't there anymore. It's kind of like lost its luster. I mean, I don't mind flying at all. Like I actually enjoy the actual flight, the aspect of flying, but I don't enjoy the pre-flight stuff, the getting checked in and all that. I don't. So anyway, when I took a little bit of a break from this, I saw that Fabiana Attanasio has a new book coming out on September 7th, and it is Cinderella. So I pre-ordered my copy off of Amazon, and I imagine that with all these crazy colorists, with all you crazy colorists out there, that there's probably going to be a lot of people that are going to pre-order it, but you might want to, if you're going to do it, you might want to hurry up and do so, because if they get a lot of orders in, unless they can keep up with the demand, they're probably going to run out of stock until they get another shipment in. So if you're going to pre-order Fabiana's new book, I would do that sooner than later. Because I heard, and I heard this happen with Romantic Country 3, that so many people had pre-ordered it that Amazon ran out of stock, and so not everybody that pre-ordered it got it on release day. And so I guess there were a lot of emails and stuff that went out saying that, you know, they had to, you know, we're sorry, but it's back ordered. So I don't know if this could happen with Fabiana's books, because it seems like hers kind of runs out of stock really quickly. So if you're going to order that, I would do it sooner than later, because you may not get it for a while afterwards otherwise. So anyway, in the States here, we have a holiday weekend coming up, because Monday is our Labor Day. So a lot of times there's a parade and stuff going on. We don't really do much. Like we just kind of hang out. A lot of times, you know, we just barbecue steaks or something, but we haven't really done that too much lately. So well, it's probably just going to be another day for us, although my husband won't have to go into work that day, because everybody, you know, with being Labor Day, everybody has it off. Now my Derwent eraser, I'm going to have to change the batteries in this thing, because it's pretty dead. It's pretty dead, so I've had to kind of take and, I've had to just kind of take and just like rub it across the little areas I've made a goofy, an oopsie in. I need to change the batteries, and I also need to, I'm probably going to have to go in and put in a new eraser head, because this one is pretty much down to it. But I've still got like just almost a full pack of the erasers, the eraser heads for it. Because I think, well, there was one that came in it, and so the one that's in it now is the one that it had when I got it. So it's not like I use up much of that eraser. But I do know that you can... buy the eraser refills for it, but I still have pretty much my full pack of them, so I'm in good shape that way, which is great. Yep. So what's everybody gonna do this weekend? Today is Friday, September 1st. So what's everybody going to do over the weekend, even if it's not a holiday weekend for you guys? Do you have any special plans over the weekend, or are you going to be doing a lot of coloring? Are you going on a special trip? You know, what's going on for your weekend, you guys? Me, we have a little going away party for one of our Lions members who is moving away. She's moving to Texas. Lucky girl. But she's not moving to the part of Texas that had the hurricane, or the nasty storm, or whatever it was that they had. Texas is a very, very big place, actually. It's actually the biggest state in the United States, and I've heard... I've only been to like maybe one part of Texas. But I've heard it takes, like, if you're going to drive across Texas, I've heard it takes about 2 days to do so. But anyway, she's moving to Texas, lucky girl. I wish I could move out of Illinois. I don't like the Midwest. I think I've said that to you guys before, but I do not like the Midwest, mainly because I hate winters. And of course, Illinois, like, we're probably like one of the worst states now, because like the state's broke. And of course, you know, you've heard of like all of the political corruptions and stuff that's been happening here. So Illinois really is not in great shape. I've heard a lot of people have been moving to Indiana because they can't stand Illinois. I can't blame them one bit. Although if I'm going to move, I want to get out of this Midwest. That's what I want to do. Because I want to go somewhere that the winters aren't bad. I want to go somewhere where it's like halfway warm the whole year round, because you know what, like the older I get, the worse I hate winters. I just absolutely hate winters. Boy, this video is like all the things Sharon hates. Holy crap. Like I was talking about how I hate airports, or you know, messing with the airport thing and packing for a trip, and oh, coloring is supposed to be a positive experience, right guys? Oh, but yeah, I don't, oh man, yeah, but there's just some things that I just do not like at all, at all, at all. And winter is one of them. Winter is definitely one of them. Of course, when I was a little kid, like, you know, the highlight of the whole thing when it was winter was to go outside and play and build a snowman. But you know what? I'm not a little kid anymore. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I just don't know where the summer went to, guys. I mean, the summer just passed by so quickly. But, you know, I mean, we've just been so busy this summer. Like, I so wanted a relaxing summer, but I didn't get it. Like, we have been just so busy this summer. So yeah, I kind of know where the time went. Like, it totally flies when you're just, you know, when you're meeting yourself coming and going, you know, when you're just burning both ends of it. So, yeah, it flew. It flew by. I ain't gonna lie about that. So anyway, as much as I don't want to see Caleb retire, I hate like hell that has to happen. I think I've said that in another video. I am looking forward to seeing what the, you know, what the new dog is going to look like, or be like, you know, and look like. And of course, I am crossing my fingers for another golden, because I love my golden retrievers. But I'm not going to know for sure until I get there. So, but if I can, I will vlog about it. I'm going to take my camera. So I am planning to record the day that the dogs are issued. And so I will record myself meeting my new partner. I'll try to have, I'm probably going to end up, I'm not going to be able to take this big honking tripod I have, so I'm going to end up taking my little tabletop one, which I hope will be good enough to get set up. It should be. But I will record myself meeting my new partner, and I can put that video up if you guys are interested in seeing that and how that works and stuff. Because there's been quite a few people that have recorded that. I've seen a few of those on YouTube, which is pretty nice. You know, I like seeing that, and it can be an emotional time for some people because you know, especially like if it's their first time and they're you know, they're meeting their first dog and all that. And of course, you know, some people, you know, a lot of people are very happy. You know, they're so happy they cry. You know, a lot of people. In fact, when I was in training getting Abby, and you arrive there on a Sunday, and the dog, we call it dog issue day. Okay, that's when the trainers hand out the dogs to everybody. And so that used to be on Wednesday, but now they've changed it to Tuesday. So there's quite a bit that has changed since I was there last. So anyway, when I was there in, you know, for training for Abby, we had roommates at the time, because this is before, since then they've remodeled the, you know, the residence center. They call it a residence center. And so now it's all single rooms, and when I got Caleb, it was all single rooms. So when I was there last time, I didn't have to, you know, worry about having a roommate. But anyway, when I was in training with, you know, for Abby, we had roommates, and the lady that roomed with me, she was getting her first dog. You know, it was her first time going through it, and so when she heard the dog's toenails on the floor, you know, when she heard the dogs walking in, you know, she got all emotional. She started to cry, you know. She was all excited, and she was crying. And so the team captain, you know, they call it a team captain, the trainer that's kind of in charge of everything, or the lead trainer, I guess you could say. They call him or her a team captain. So anyway, he says, now Pat, you need to go to your room and you need to relax. And you know, because her name was Pat. He says, Pat, you need to go to your room and relax. So so we did, and oh my gosh, she was so happy to meet her dog. She got a beautiful golden retriever. Absolutely beautiful golden retriever. Kind of reminded me of Caleb a little bit. He had a great personality, and he was so shaggy. Like, he was a very, very shaggy dog. He was a shaggy dog. So, in a way, he reminded me of Caleb. So, oh, the memories. So, it's kind of funny, because, like, us veterans, you know, or we veterans, I'm trying to do grammatically correct, but we veterans, you know, we always like to tell war stories to the not horror, but sometimes horror stories, I guess, but we like to tell war stories to the first timers. So I had quite a lot to say. The last 2 times I was there, because I mean, it is really overwhelming for a first timer. It truly is, and I remember. You know what, like, I remember when I was a first-timer back in '92, and I, oh my gosh, like, I mean, you know, you go to the, you know, they give you a lecture, like, 3 nights a week, and, you know, they work with you hands-on, but man, it's a lot of information to take in very, very quickly, really, and it's very, very overwhelming, because, like, you know, even if you were a dog person anyway, you know, you're giving such different commands to this dog, you know, like you're learning, I mean, you're learning just so much stuff in a relatively short amount of time. And I mean, it really is overwhelming. It truly is. And even, you know, even going back there subsequent times, I mean, because things kind of subtly change a little bit. Like sometimes, you know, like, if they find, you know, something that doesn't work, or, you know, they may change their training methods slightly, or, you know, they'll change this and that, or, you know, they'll finagle different things, you know, because they're always trying to improve the program and update it and stuff, you know. But, so even going there subsequent times, it's still pretty, you know, you're still learning a lot. But, you know, for your very, very first time, it truly is a shocking, shocking and overwhelming experience, just because there's just so much information to take in, and just so much you got to learn. You know, plus you're trying to bond with this dog, and you know, when you are a first timer, like, you know, some first timers, like, they've never really had much experience with a dog, and so, you know, they got to learn basic dog care and how to, you know, how to treat a dog and all that, you know. So it can be very scary. It can be very, very scary. So I totally sympathize. I totally sympathize with the first timers, because you know what? I've been there and done that, and I remember very, very well how it felt. You know, even though it was, you know, I mean, even though it was like 25 years ago, you know, over 25 years ago, I still remember very, very well how it felt and what it was like. And you know what? You have your good days and you have your bad days, and you have days where you wonder why you're even there to begin with. And you have days where I want to go home and you're crying and, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? I just want to go home. And then there's days where you just feel on cloud 9, and you know, you think you and this dog is going to conquer the world. And I mean, it's an emotional roller coaster. It truly is. You know, it truly is, you know, when you're there for the first time and learning all this new stuff. And I guess a lot's changed since I was there last. Like, they've kind of adjusted, I guess, their training methods a little bit more, where I think now they're using more positive reinforcement rather than, you know, the old school way where, you know, you reward them with praise if they do something good. and if they don't do something good, then, you know, then you give them a correction. But now it's like, you know, it's all, it's positive reinforcement, which, I think a lot of it is like they're treat training the dogs a little bit. Like they're using the clickers and they're using like little food morsels, you know, as little treats, I guess. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, honestly. Like, you know, just, I mean, it's different, and I'm just so used to, you know, the old way of doing stuff. And like, I don't keep a pocket full of treats for my dogs. I don't, you know, they get, you know, they get the nice praise, and they get the nice loving up, you know, when they do something good. But, you know, I don't know that I could just totally hand out treats, you know, every time. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's going to be like now. You know, just because it is going to be quite a bit different. But you know what? It's going to be an adventure. It will definitely be an adventure at that. So, but I'm going to keep a journal about everything that's about the whole thing. And I will vlog if I can. I'm not going to promise too much because, like I've said in other videos, it's going to be a very, very busy time. And yeah, you get downtime, but boy, by the time you do, you're just so tired. It's like, oh, bed. You know, because they really keep you going pretty much all day, which is good because there's a lot you gotta learn. So it's gonna be interesting, though. I'm looking forward to it. You know, even though I don't want Caleb to retire, I really don't. I wish I could turn back time and that he could be all young again forever and ever and ever and ever, and he wouldn't ever age, but I know that that's not realistic. So I guess I am going to have to just embrace the whole thing, and you know, and I am looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to you know, to seeing what the new one's going to be like, and I'm looking forward to meeting all the people that are going to be coming, and you know, because there's probably going to be I think there's room for like 24 or 26 people, but there's usually like 18 to 20, I think, in any given training session. So I always look forward to meeting the different people, you know, and just seeing what everybody's like that's attending the class. So it's gonna be interesting. And I don't remember where this pencil went. Holy crap. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. All right, there it is. Okay. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I did quite a bit of coloring. I think we got about half of this mandala done. I will probably finish this off camera, and I will post the finished results on the Facebook group when it's finished. So I'm gonna just zoom back out, but here is our progress thus far. So we got about half done, I would say. So I'll continue this. I won't do it on camera, but I'll finish it off camera and come back and show it to you guys in another video. I will put it on Instagram and on the Facebook group. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. Hit that, and while you're at it, go ahead and hit the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. Hit that like button. You all have a great day, and we will see you in the next video. All right, bye guys.